everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me already, my name's Christie and I'm the proud mum of a little girl who's 18 months old called Grace, and we are expecting our second little girl to arrive sort of at the end of this year, beginning of next year. So this is my second pregnancy and this will be my 31-week pregnancy update. If you've been watching my updates, you'll notice that I've skipped a few, and that's just because firstly, life has been just so busy in the last few weeks, but also I think around this time, not really a lot changes. It's not like in that first trimester, even into the second, where things are happening so quickly. Baby's basically fully formed now, and I'm just waiting for her to fatten up and finish developing like her breathing and all that kind of stuff before she actually arrives. So not too much is actually happening baby wise. She is about 3.5 pounds now according to the app, but if you remember from my 28-week update when I had a 4D scan, she was already 3 pounds at that point, and they estimated that baby should be 2.5. So I'm imagining she's a little bit bigger than that now. Baby has also learnt to use all 5 of her senses, so she can see light in and out of the womb now, she can hear us talking, and she's getting ready basically to be a fully fledged person when she comes out in a few weeks' time. It's getting so real now, especially now that I'm like officially into my 3rd trimester, but also I'm down to a single number of digits on how many weeks until I'm expecting her to be here. So I'm hoping to get my C-section date some point in the next couple of weeks. It's 2 weeks now until my next consultant appointment. So if not at that appointment, then the following one I'll hopefully get a date. And I'm imagining it will be around 39 weeks, which would mean that I've got like 8 weeks of this pregnancy left, which just blows my mind. But also when I went for my 4D scan, she was in the breech position, and although I've definitely felt her move upside down since then, I feel like she's now moved back. And the sonographer was telling me that sometimes for breech babies they do them even earlier than that, at around 38 weeks. So we really could be down to the last few weeks now of pregnancy, and I'm so happy about that because I'm at that stage now where I'm just uncomfortable. Like, I'm finding moving, even just like basic tasks day to day, I'm just finding really difficult to do, especially with an 18-month-old. Everything feels just like that much harder. The days that I have Grace on her own, I really struggle with now because she wants lifting and like getting down on her level to play with her and then getting back up, and I'm just not as mobile as I used to be, and I'm finding that difficult anyway because I know how much she wants me to really play with her, but I'm trying to go with it, I guess, because after my C-section I know that I won't be mobile for a little while anyway. It's not going to be like a natural recovery where within a few days I should kind of be back to my normal self. It's going to be a longer recovery journey than I had last time potentially, although my recovery wasn't great the first time. But I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to recognise that and be like, oh, don't touch mummy's belly, you can't jump on me there, or mummy can't do that anymore. But it is difficult because she's so young, she just doesn't really understand. But hopefully as time goes on, she will start to understand a little bit more. I'm getting less mobile, so there's just literally not as much that I can do. And I'm just looking forward to getting to the other side and having a baby and not feeling so like full and uncomfortable all the time. From my last update as well, I will have told you that I was diagnosed as anemic in this pregnancy, which is the same as when I was pregnant with Grace. I was also anemic in that pregnancy, so that wasn't a huge shock. I asked to be prescribed something different this time because last time I had ferrous sulfate and I found that really made me feel ill and was affecting my sleep. So this time they've given me ferrous fumarate. And so far the side effects aren't too bad. TMI warning. I am so like constipated from the tablets though. Like, I'm hoping that my iron will have come up enough that I can just carry on the dose that I'm on. I'm getting them retested, I think it's next week at 32 weeks, and then I'll have a sense of whether they want me to carry on with the iron tablets or go for an iron infusion, which was what I had after the birth of Grace last time, and that was easy peasy really. They just put the iron into my cannula, and then I felt great afterwards, and I feel like the side effects were shorter lived by doing that. So I'm almost kind of hoping that that's the road that we go down, but I know they have thresholds for when they treat you in that way, so we'll see whether I meet those when I go back and have my next iron check. I think things have felt so busy recently because I've actually just started a new job this week at 31 weeks pregnant. It's at the same company that I work for now. I've just moved departments to a new role. It's a lot more challenging, probably a lot more technical than what I was doing before. So this week has just absolutely flown by, and I feel like I've absorbed so much into my brain and learnt so much in that week that I haven't really had time to think about anything else. But I found that I'm sleeping a lot better because I'm so like stimulated during the day through my work, but also just I think that's taken a toll on me. I'm going to the office more, and that's having a physical kind of effect and making me feel very tired. I'm going to sleep at like 9 o'clock at night to wake up at 7 o'clock the next day. But it's been a really good change for me. I'm very fortunate that my company's kind of given me the opportunity when I'm nearing the end of my time there for the next, I'm going to have about 10 months off. So the fact that I've been offered the job, I feel like is really positive. And it means that I feel like I have this clock ticking down of where I've really got to get my head around the role and make a good impression before I go off for an extended period of time. But I think the act of putting myself forward for that job and getting it and now being in the role has been really good for me, like mentally, because I feel like I've achieved something. I feel like I'm still like valuable in the workforce. It's just been really good for me, I think, and good for my self-esteem at work. And like I say, I'm really enjoying it. I'm almost like a little bit gutted that I'm only going to be doing it for another 5 weeks before I go off on maternity leave. So the countdown really is on, and I'm trying to get as much done as I can in that time, but I am enjoying it. But therefore, I'm not as focused on this pregnancy as I was with my first one. What I have done this week though is had like a baby shower. I guess you'd call it a baby shower, but really I just asked my closest friends and my mum and my sister-in-law if they wanted to go to brunch. So we just went for brunch this morning, and it was so nice. It was good to get everyone together, and it wasn't really like a typical shower. We did a couple of like quizzes and stuff, but I didn't want it to be like branded as a baby shower because I feel like then people feel obliged to buy you like big gifts for the baby and stuff. But I don't actually need anything for the baby, and I just wanted to get everyone together to kind of celebrate the fact that I'm having another one rather than using it as these are the things on my list that I haven't bought yet. Not that that's what a baby shower is for everyone, but I guess in a traditional sense of an American baby shower, it is an opportunity to kind of work through your list of things that you need. Well, I don't actually need anything, so I wanted it to just be a real celebration of this time that I've got and a chance to get everyone together, and it was just such a nice experience. I would highly recommend doing that. If you're like the type of person that you like, I don't really want a big fuss, I don't want a massive baby shower, I would highly recommend just going out for a nice brunch, a nice meal with your friends, because it was just such a nice way to do it this time compared to having a massive party. My closest girlfriends asked me what I wanted for my baby shower, and I actually asked them if I could have a voucher for a photographer that we like to use, because I wasn't going to have any, but I'd really like to have some maternity photos done. I didn't have any done with Grace, and I wasn't planning to have any done with this baby, but as the pregnancies progressed, Steve and I have been talking more and more about whether this might be our last baby. And if you'd asked me before I fell pregnant with this one, I'd say absolutely not. It's not my last. I want 3 at least. But now that I'm getting to the point where the baby's nearly here and I'm imagining life with our 2 girls, I'm thinking maybe I will feel complete with our family when the baby's here. So I want to capture that time in my life where I was pregnant in case I never have that again. So I've got that voucher now. I'm going to get in touch with the photographer and see if I can schedule something in, obviously before I pop and before I get too big and too uncomfortable, because I think those would be lovely pictures to have and lovely memories to look back on. And then this is also the same photographer that I've asked to do our newborn pictures when the baby's here, because I want some family ones, some with Grace and the baby. And we didn't really have that experience with Grace because she was born during lockdown. So to have that like newborn photo shoot with this baby is going to be really special as well. So that's everything I've got to update on this week. 31 weeks, but I'm also covering kind of from 29 up to 31 because I've missed a couple of updates. I do try and put out an update every week, but I can't promise that I'll be sticking to a strict schedule with it, especially as things aren't changing that much and things are so busy for me at the moment. But if you are pregnant yourself, then congratulations. Or if you just like watching these types of videos, then please consider subscribing to my channel, because I do put out all sorts of mummy content and pregnancy content, and probably even more so when the baby's here. I'm just so excited to have like a squidgy baby again. It's like there's nothing like it, is there really, when they're really that little in the first few weeks. They just change so much, but those first few weeks where they're just like small and they sleep, not at night, but sleep during the day, and you've just got that real closeness with them. I'm so excited to have that again. So if you enjoyed this video, then please like and comment below, and I will catch you up in my next pregnancy update.